Okay, you guys, so I know that you have seen my hutch before in a few of my previous videos that I have released, but looking at it, I really did not like the setup. Literally, the only setup that I enjoyed was literally the top portion of the hutch. Which I'll show you guys a close-up once I'm all done. But I decided to go ahead and take everything down and start from scratch. I have everything laid out in front of me, and I'm gonna go ahead and play around to see like what looks best on what side and what level, and just play around with it. And I wanted to bring you guys along so I can give you a source of inspiration as always. So that's what today's goal is going to be. I'm gonna play around with all these thrifted goodies because a lot of my items are thrifted, which I know a lot of you have seen in my videos. So I'm very excited because I love, of course, incorporating a lot of my thrifted items into my actual home decor. So I wanted to bring you guys along again to bring a source of inspiration for your hutches or your home decor. And I wanted to give you guys kind of like an idea of what I'm trying to do and hope that brings you a source of inspiration for your own home decorating. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So these are some of the items that I will be using for my hutch. Again, I just laid everything out into my dining table, and I want to say either most of it, probably a good majority of it, will make it into the hutch, but it's not a guarantee since I'm going to be playing around and see what works best. Again, I'm trying to stick with neutrals until June so that I can display 4th of July decor. So I'm gonna go ahead and play around and see what works best. So one recommendation that I can give you guys, if you are decorating your hutch or your home, always make sure to check what you have, see what can work best, see if you have something that works with the theme that you're trying to do. Again, I'm trying to do more of a neutral, a lot of blacks, grays, creams, whites. That type of palette is what I want to incorporate into my home and into the hutch for the season now until kind of like the middle of June or maybe the beginning of June. I'm not too sure. I haven't made up my mind yet, where I will transition into 4th of July. So I wanted to first give a tip as far as like, make sure to look at what you have. You may have stuff around your home that you can already use to go with the theme that you're trying to accomplish. Another thing is always make sure to keep an eye out when you go thrifting or wherever you may shop for your own home decor. I shop a lot at secondhand stores such as Goodwill, Savers, Salvation Army, but the big bulk is always Goodwill. Those are my always to go to stores. So my majority of my decor is all from there. So I have to be on the lookout when I go thrifting, see something that's going to work out and hope that it does, because sometimes they don't usually accept returns. Our Goodwills do not. And so yeah, so the best part is, of course, is always to just enjoy it, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Again, a lot of my decor that you guys will see is thrifted, so I did not spend a lot of money. Well, accumulation wise, it probably is a lot of money, but as far as going into the actual stores and, you know, hunting down for home decor, it does not have to be expensive. You guys can definitely do it on a budget. Just make sure that you have a mindset of what you want to accomplish and if you have a set dollar amount that you want to keep at. So just a quick refresher for those of you who are new to my channel, my hutch is actually a find that I got through OfferUp, believe it or not, and it was only $50. It is a 1950s vintage hutch. This part right here is detachable. It's just literally sitting on top of the bottom desk, and then the bottom piece where the drawers are, as you guys can see, let me go down to level. This is a whole separate piece. It has cabinets at the bottom and these drawers as well right here, and this pull-out drawer. So I kind of always stick with the same theme that the bottom section of my hutch is going to be more for like a baker's theme. That just has always worked best because it gives it a lot of height. There's things that I can put that are really tall. The top shelf is also the best one because it gives me a lot of height space. The middle space is the toughest because it does not have a lot of height. So I can't put things that are too tall in the middle. So I definitely have to keep that into consideration when doing the whole hutch. Another tip that I have for you guys is once you have decided the theme that you're going for and you have all your items, definitely lay them all out into a space where you can see everything all at once. It definitely is going to help in determining what you want to put into your hutch, what you can play around with, what may work, what may not. And it's just such an easier setup. That way you can see everything and decide, okay, this is gonna look best, maybe this, maybe that. This may not work after all, but it's definitely going to help you out so much more when changing out your hutch yearly. So for this hutch decor, I'm going to be using a lot of recent thrift finds, just like this one that I showcased in a recent haul. It is a planter, but it still is perfectly going to work. And then other pieces such as the mixer that you guys saw as well, the hearth and hand, thrifted. So all these items are so far thrifted. And then I had a very hard time deciding whether or not I was going to put this. So I'm going to play around with it because it's kind of going with the theme that I'm trying to do, which is neutral, but it's not in a neutral color. That's the only problem, but it is a vintage scale and it's so cute. So I have to try and make it, you know, work somehow into the hutch. So I'm going to go ahead and get started placing things around, and I'm going to show you guys the process. So I do have these woven baskets that I got at Goodwill, and I want to place them somehow kind of in the back. I wanted to put some decor up against the walls of each level of the shelf. So I'm going to play around and see what worked best. I was thinking, since I have 3, 4, 5, I have an odd number. I was thinking maybe doing 3. Oh, that won't work either. So I was thinking doing 3, 2, and then 1. Wait, no, yeah, no, it won't work. Darn. Okay, so I have to figure out what exactly I'm going to do with these. Again, I did want to place them kind of in the back like this, but I don't have another extra one. If I only had one more. See, that just looks beautiful. I love the contrast of this with that. So I'm going to try and see how I can make this work. So what I decided to do was, which hopefully it will work out in how it looks, is I decided to put 1 at the top, 2 in the middle, and then 1 at the bottom, which kind of looks a little funky right now. Does that look better? More aligned. So that's how it looks as of right now. I know it might look a little funky right now, but hopefully it will work out in the end. But I did want to place these kind of in the back just to give it some different contrast and material with the woven baskets, or plates, I guess you could say. They're more plates than baskets. I wanted something to contrast the white of the hutch because, as you guys can see, my house is surrounded by a bunch of white. And a lot of stuff at the top makes it pop. So I wanted something to, you know, give it a little splash of something different onto the background where some of the items will go. So let's go ahead and keep moving and see what else works out. So originally I did wanted to place my vintage scale with, on top of it, I wanted to place, oh my gosh, I'm dropping everything today, you guys. So I wanted to originally place this little box that I also got from Goodwill with a bunch of Easter eggs. So I decided to actually keep the neutral color Easter eggs that I bought at Michael's for Easter. I thought, you know what, these still look very realistic to what you would get at, you know, throughout the year. So I absolutely love it. And again, this is a thrift store find as well. The egg canister holder, the egg little tray basket. So originally I did want to place it on top, kind of like if you're going to the market. I thought that would be really cute. But unfortunately, again, with the whole height problem, it's very, very difficult and it doesn't work out because the top of this just won't fit with the scale being placed at the top. You can't really see the eggs if I do it that way. So that unfortunately is not going to work. The only thing that you guys can see is literally the egg carrier, but nothing else. You can't even see the eggs, so there's no point in me doing that. So let me try and see how I can make this work out. Another tip that I have for you guys is always work with your main attraction, is what I would say. Main attraction pieces. Just like at Disneyland, Disneyland has a bunch of main attractions and everything else is part of it. So what I mean by main attractions is what are your hot items, the things that are going to be the most biggest, that are going to bring in the most appeal to your hutch. Start them out first. So that's why I want to incorporate the scale, because it is a big piece to it and it's a big thing into the actual hutch with the whole decor and what I'm trying to go for. So always definitely try to always lay out your bigger pieces, your main attraction pieces first before you add on the small details. So I decided for my weight scale that I'm gonna go ahead and tuck it into the bottom shelf corner. I think that's gonna be the best spot for it, just because it's pretty big again and I can't stack up the egg box on top of it. So I think that's just gonna be the best spot for it, and then I'll surround everything else around it, and I think it will still look really, really cute. So let's go ahead and start adding a few more other goodies around the hutch. Another one of my main attractions is, of course, the coffee grinder that I got also from Goodwill that I showcased in a haul last week. This is definitely another main attraction. So now I just have to figure out where exactly I want to put this at. It either will be right here, right in the front center of the hutch, or I'm thinking possibly maybe up here. It's really, really hard, you guys, but you just have to play around with it. Try to see what will work best. And again, it's so easy. This is not permanent. You could always change everything around. It's, you know, however way that you want it. So I think I am going to be placing it right here in between the two woven plates. And it's gonna be right in the middle, and then I'm gonna turn the handle so it doesn't distract anything, but you can still see the pop of blue on the knob on the holder, and it will contrast into the back of the woven piece. So let's go ahead and continue on with the main attraction pieces. So the orange painting that was also thrifted along with this basket, but the oranges are actually from Michael's that I got on clearance. So this is paying homage to the county that I live in here in California. I live in Southern California in Orange County, and I wanted to have a little homage to the county that we live in. So I thought this would be absolutely perfect. Here in Anaheim, we actually were surrounded by orange grove fields. And it's just, I love it. I love that this is a cute homage to that. So I'm, again, debating, because this is a pretty big piece with the basket. It gives it kind of a big height. And this cannot fit in the bottom shelf very well. It's kind of a snug fit. It definitely does not fit in the middle, so it has to go on the top shelf because, again, it has that added height into the ceiling of it. So I'm going to either place it maybe tucked into the corner. I might have it facing in the front. I'm gonna go ahead and see what looks best, because I do have these oranges in the basket, and I also have this little kind of like white table from Goodwill that I got. I don't think I ever showed you guys this. It was $3. So I thought that it would look kind of cute if it gave it a little bit more height with the basket. So I'm gonna play around with that and see what works. So I ended up doing it like this way, you guys. I had this more tucked in into the corner like this in an angle, but I think that this actually looks a lot better. And I just love, again, the oranges in the basket and this little cute table. And I just think this looks absolutely fabulous. So it is coming along so far. Not so much on here yet, but just wanted to show you guys the progress so far. That is going to be moved. I just have that there for now, but I'm going to go ahead and continue with my main attraction pieces. One of my fabulous subscribers suggested that I use my vintage Ray Dunn pot plant that I got at Goodwill. This is really crazy, you guys, and I gave it a very light cleaning, and of course water did seep through all the cracks on the enamel, so you can see a lot of the cracks more now, but again, I feel it gives it character. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this near my oranges, which is where one of my subscribers, thank you so much for giving me the suggestion that this would be so perfect next to that or near it. So I'm gonna go ahead and see where more or less it will look good, because I don't want it to block out the painting. So let's play around and see where it will look good. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a time lapse for the rest of me placing the main attraction pieces, just because it's gonna be a very long video if I show every single item and where I'm gonna place it. But I will definitely go ahead and give you guys a full completed tour once we get to the end. So make sure to stay tuned until the end of the video to see the finished look. To give you guys a quick update before I continue on with another time lapse. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the items that I've placed on. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty finding a place for this main attraction piece. Another fabulous Goodwill find. I don't know where to put it. I have it tucked into this little corner for now. But usually this is supposed to be for my kind of like baking area theme, because I have a lot of baking items. So I always wanted to have, since the hutch is really close to the kitchen, I wanted to have some type of connection to baking. So let me show you guys really close what I have so far. So before I do the final unveil, you guys, this is the remaining items that did not unfortunately make it to the hutch. These items just did not work, either because there was not enough space or it didn't really go well. As you guys saw, I was going to put these as the final touches, but they really don't make sense, and I feel like it kind of makes it look more cluttered versus making it look cuter. So these items, I'll have to go ahead and find a different spot for them. I was really hoping that this would fit because it's vintage. Like, I don't think it is. It might be. But it's such a cute piece, this Coca-Cola straw holder. But I will have to find another special place for it. And I do already have one gumball canister at the very top of the hutch, so I didn't want to put another one. And then just some other things that just did not make it through. But let's go ahead and do the final reveal of the hutch. So quickly starting at the top, you guys see my Home Sweet Home California Ray Dunn sign. I have the Welcome to Our Farmhouse milk canister that I got thrifted. The Country Farm coffee and flour is also thrifted. Those 3 Ray Dunn mugs that you see is also thrifted. Then I added a gumball canister with a stool from Hobby Lobby and that tin canister that's also thrifted. Next to the copper teapot, also thrifted, and the Magnolia spritzer bottle is also thrifted, and I think it looks really cute up there. I wanted it to definitely look a little bit more busy than everything else, just because I wanted to give it some height in the whole setup. Moving on downward, we have the Orange Grove dedication homage pieces. I absolutely love how they all came out together. Then I have the mortar, and oh my gosh, you guys told me what this was, the mortar and grinder thing. Oh my gosh, I know the name, but I can't think of it right now. I added that on there to give it some nice contrast to the basket. We have my Raydun Farmhouse Cluck mug, also thrifted longer burger basket with the eggs from Michael's. Thrifted Target dollar spot planter. I love this because these black stripes give it such a good contrast to the white. It gives it a pop of color. Next to the My Happy Place Raydun mug, thrifted, if you haven't guessed it. Moving on downward, we have the Good Vibes Only, the stackable book that I found at Goodwill. Bumblebee, this is actually from Marshall's that I bought maybe 2 years ago. Then we have the Hearth and Hand Home. These are actually bud vases, but I love using them more for decor. Those were also thrifted. This spread is missing the tray, but it's fine. This is also thrifted. Then we have our coffee grinder, which absolutely is so precious in this whole setup, also thrifted. We have the Hearth and Hand mixture next to these beautiful, cute measuring cups, thrifted. Everything is thrifted almost, you guys. This little tray that's holding the eggs right here next to the vintage scale that I got from an estate sale. So I used the extra basket that didn't make it to the background on top of it to give it some cool contrast and just a pop of more woven colors, because again, I wanted it to be very neutral. We have the Hershey Kisses tin in the back. Then we have this whole tea time setup. This is from Savers, and these 2 pieces are thrifted from Goodwill. The Cup of Comfort is also a thrift store find from Goodwill. We have the milk jug canister in the back, and this little cake stand holding the cloche that I got from Goodwill, and the pie, the fake pie, which is ready, which is also thrifted at Goodwill, you guys, along with the freshly baked sign, which of course ties it all well with the pie and everything else in the baking section. Last but not least, I have this rolling pin and this smasher type thing, and this not jug, it's kind of like a pitcher, a metal pitcher that was from Target, but it was thrifted. All of this from Goodwill. So I hope that you guys loved this entire setup. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a few more views of the entire setup, but other than that, that is the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this and that this was a source of inspiration for you. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and let me know if you are decorating for your hutch. Are you keeping it neutral, or are you already getting ready for 4th of July? Until next time, you guys, this is Daniel from Second Chance Love, wishing you guys a wonderful day.